Hello, everybody. All right. Can you hear me clearly? Just wanted to be sure about that. Can you hear me clearly? If you let me know in the comment section. Okay, beautiful. All right. Good morning. Well, it's morning over here. It's 5:18 a.m. over here. And first and foremost, I want to say a very big thank you to the Triple N team for putting together this conference. My name is Jimi Tewe, and I am so honored and so privileged to be a part of this conference today. For a few minutes, I'm sure probably listened to all the speakers already. But for a few minutes, I'm going to just share something that I'm hoping will be able to add a little value to you this today in this conference. And I remember when Mayowa reached out to me and he was spoken about about the topic about going global. One of the things that I said to him was that, we might need to revisit the title because sometimes, the topic about going global is a very nice idea. Oh, we're now global. There's even some meme that we're global now, all right? And there's a lot of that going on. But I'm not the kind of person that likes to waste people's time. In fact, why would I wake up at 5 something a.m. to try to come here? It's not because I'm looking for speaking opportunities. I recognize that I have an opportunity to speak to great men and women right here, right now. And so there's no way that I'm going to take this time. Some of you, the only time you ever listen to me in your whole destiny is now. All right. So I have a rare privilege and I don't take that for granted. And I have to make the most of this time. And that's why we decided to speak about going global, starting from where you are. I say starting from where you are because sometimes there are topics that you take and you can't apply them because they are true, they are nice, but they are not applicable from where you are. So, for example, there's a lot of conversations right now about artificial intelligence. Somebody that does not have lights in his house, somebody that, internet is very expensive, somebody that other factors are affecting them at this point in time might struggle and to grapple a bit with the ideas that are communicated because their realities do not put them in a position to implement the things that they are converting about. Some of you, it took a sacrifice for you to show up at this conference today. And at the end of the day, if you leave this place without getting value, then we've kind of like wasted your time. So today I want to talk about going global, starting from where you are. Now, the first thing I need to address is the concept of going global. By the way, I don't like looking at the time when I speak. So the guys at the back end, once it is 10 minutes to the end of my talk, all right, just tell me 10 minutes in the comment section and I will know. All right, and I'll be good to go from there. All right, beautiful. Now, I put a few thoughts together just so that I can keep my thoughts on track. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that going global does not only mean something that is geographic, all right? In the terminologies that we utilize, it does not mean relocation. I could tell you, I live in Dallas, Texas. There's a lot of people that are in America as if they are in Lagos, if you get what I'm trying to say to you, all right? So all their friends are Nigerians. They go to the African store. They celebrate Independence Day. They don't get involved in anything. So I don't personally consider a person like that, being global, all right? Simply because the concept about being global, like Olakunle Shore will say, is being able to pass the test of universality. What that means, for example, that there are certain products that are universal irrespective of their location. In the music space, there are singers, there are rappers who have gone global. What does that mean? I'm from Okitimupa local government in Ondo State. And there are artists that are in the United States, for example, that people in my village actually listen to. Those people have passed the test of universality. The other day I was watching something on Instagram and I saw a female rapper who was rapping in Chinese, but it was to Afrobeats. All right. So we say that Afrobeats have gone global. What does that mean? It means that irrespective of race, irrespective of gender, irrespective of geography, that an idea has been absorbed globally. I have friends, for example, that work with Nvidia, that work with Google, that work with JP Morgan Chase. Now, I'm not talking about people just working at the lower rungs. I'm talking about people that are very senior. And so, in fact, in their job title, you will see something like global leader for this. Okay, clearly they're global because they have a workforce. I know someone, for example, that has a workforce about 13,000 people across the world. So is it meetings, for example, at 2 a.m. because he has a conversation with somebody that is in China because that is 12 hours from here. Okay? And that's it about being global. Now, I want to say that for a second, I want to say is why should anybody consider going global? Because look, Jimmy, this is a nice idea. I live in Ikeja. If I can have a nice house in GRA, if I can have a Range Rover, if I can have enough millions in my account, do I need to go global? And they are very correct. Maybe you don't need to go global, but this conversation today is for leaders. This conversation today is for people that are extremely passionate about impacting the world. This conversation today is for people that recognize that what they carry today is not just for their locale, but it's actually for the whole world. If it's you that I'm talking about, turn to your neighbor right now, shake your neighbor and say, it is me that he's talking about. Okay? All right, beautiful. Now, the reason why I think should global is because it is actually a currency that can be spent. What I mean by that, I mean the fact that sometimes you can be in a particular place and yet you are able to tap from dimensions or spaces beyond where you are. I know a young guy in the city of Ile-Ife, all right? He's very good with certain things in terms of designing technology and all those kind of things. He's one of the top people that uses Upwork. Upwork is a platform for freelancers and all those kind of things. The guy is in Ile-Ife. He earns dollars every single month from Ile-Ife. So whenever people are complaining and all those kind of things, he doesn't, I mean, enjoys people to complain, you know how it is, but he knows what he's earning at that point is that the only reason why is because he has skills that can be utilized globally, if you know what I'm talking about. So when you are global, or you have a global mindset, one of the things that happens many times is that it breaks the limitations of your geography. When you are global, it breaks and it puts you ahead of the pack, as it were. The second reason why I think you should be global is that I think that the realities of the world we live in right now actually require that you're global. There are too many opportunities. I'm in my late 40s, I'm going to be 50 in a couple of years. And many of you are in your 20s, maybe early 30s and all those kind of things. If I were in your shoes, I would tell you something, that if there's any time to think as a global entity, as a global citizen, that time is now. It will be more relevant for you than for my own generation. For my generation, it's still relevant, but in terms of the degree of relevance, I think it actually applies a lot more to you. So let me go right now into my notes. I'll just give you a preamble about this. Is first and foremost to say that being global is not a location. The second thing I want to say is that, and let me define it, that being global is three things put together. I want to write this down, all right? It is value, VALUE, plus perception, PERCEPTION, plus visibility. Being global, it is about value, number one, plus perception. Please let me read this. Find that. Ever, the same you have put oil in the ground, it is not utilizable, and therefore it cannot command value. So you wake up, you know that there's something that God made you for. You know that there's greatness on the inside of you. But can I say this to you? There are people that have lived and died without knowing, and that not knowing has not produced anything for them. So utilizable value plus perception plus visibility. Let me explain. I used a singer earlier. All right, so we have global singers today that are maybe, and I'm saying I'm going to use people that are in the United States, for example. Take for example Justin Bieber. All right, a number of you know about Justin Bieber and all that. Now, Justin Bieber is Canadian. It's not even American. All right, he had to actually move to the US to be able to get the platform. All right, and then from there he was able to now extend. So there are people, I don't know his songs, I don't sing his songs, but I know that a lot of people know about it. Now, there are people in my village that love R&B, rhythm and blues, and then they plug their ears and they are listening to Justin Bieber, all right? Or they are listening to some gospel singers. On my own days, it was Ron Canoli, and today we have beyond Kirk Franklin. There are people in my village that will probably listen to Kirk Franklin at the same time, if you get what I'm trying to say to you. Now, Kirk Franklin does not probably know. Now, when he came to Nigeria, people probably walked up to him, oh my God, you listen to your music all these years. It's like, oh, wow, that's nice. Now, he has gone global because what he has as value has been commoditized. It's been tradable across geographies. Now, what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you that everybody, you have something, you have a capacity that is tradable across geographies. You have inherent value that can be utilizable across different locations, geographies, and races. But there's something you need to know. First is the fact that there's value that is tradable, utilizable, perception, visibility. So you don't become global by traveling. I can tell you that for free. Because some people think that, oh, let me just relocate. All right? There are people, like I was stressing again, Mayowa lives out of the country, and Mayowa can tell you for free that this is true. That there are people in Canada that are not global in their mindset. If there's anything, I was with Mayowa, this is about 2 years ago now, October 2 years ago. I went to Canada, and we were having conversations of signing things. And one thing I love about what Mayowa does is that in the city where he is, he's able to gather Chinese, gathering Indians there year after year. I can tell you, Mayowa has positioned himself globally. I will not be shocked that one of these days, one of these countries is going to give him an award. They're going to invite him to their country. They're going to ask him to speak and inspire their students and inspire their youth and all those kind of things. Listen to me. I was there when Mayowa started. Mayowa started, with Sean. So they call him Mr. Sean and all those kind of things. And I remember, at that time, I am sure that he probably almost regretted from this, that should I shun this Sean? Am I right? Because this Sean is shunning me from money and all, he's spending all my money. But think about it today. He's able to do things. And so when we talk about value, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, it starts with self-belief. Self-belief. Just like Mayowa, the same thing. Also, today, I'm in different places. Yesterday, I was in a meeting, and God is my witness, I was in a meeting, and a Kenyan man here walked up to me and said to me, how did you grow so much? How did you do this? Because apparently, thank God for social media, which is visibility, he has been able to get so much value from what it is that I'm doing. I've spoken to different places, Kellogg University, Harvard University, and different places. When I spoke in Harvard, can I even tell you about Harvard in a minute? Remind me to tell you about Harvard before I finish. Okay? Let's take it one step after the other. So you don't become global by traveling. You become global by being seen, heard, and valued beyond your immediate environment. Listen to me. The realities of Nigeria, and I'm being real now. I'm not saying, oh, I'm abroad. I know. I'm saying to you, the realities of Nigeria almost all for, on one end, it calls for us to pray and actively work towards transforming the country. But on the individual level, it means you have to live above your realities. And one of the strategies you can actually utilize to do that is being global even from now. Listen to me. I know that everybody wants to be a streamer. Listen to me. Some people don't have internet, so you are not streaming. You are not a stream. You are not a river. You are not going anywhere. Think about that, okay? But the fact about it is this, that it does not mean that you cannot put your value out there. Most people tend to want to copy what every other person is doing. But I can tell you for free that there's something around you that you can actually begin with. Hopefully, by the time I'm through with this, you are able to get, great value out of this. Now, please, the guys who are, monitoring the timing, let me know that you can remember that I said 10 minutes so that you will not start rushing my head. Just put a comment in the comment section and it will be good to go. All right? So let's talk about value real quick. Value, first and foremost, recognizes that there is something that you have that is tradable. Now, inherently, or I've not seen the comments in the comment section yet, the Triple M team, let me know that you are hearing me. Let me know that you actually are also watching my time so that way I'm very clear. Just put a comment in the comment section, then I'm good to go. Thank you, but I'll keep speaking. All right. Now, value is basically, listen to me, something that you possess that somebody else needs. Something that you possess that somebody else wants. And many times, something that you possess that many people are willing to pay time or trade time, pay money or trade time for. That is what is called value. Everybody is always attracted to value. Everybody. And I can say this to you, like I said, inherently, the way that God has designed you, you are a valuable person. But the problem is that, like crude oil, there's a refinement that is required for you to be able to get the value. If not, what will happen is that you will have an idea. That I know my value. Can you imagine 1 million barrels of crude oil under the ground? I mean, the guy is probably looking at the sand around it and saying, I'm very valuable, if you get what I'm trying to say. But the problem is that until your value becomes seen, until your value becomes liked, until your value becomes desired, and until your value becomes traded, as it were, you are not able to get value out of it, if you know what I'm trying to talk about. Beautiful. Okay? So now, what do you need to do to become valuable? Okay? Thank you. I've seen it. 10 more minutes. What do you need to become valuable? The first thing I'll say to you is that you begin to self-discovery. And I believe that there's some things people are going to share today around you. The second thing is to find out what you have discovered about yourself, your skills, your abilities, the attitudes you have that other people consider as value, that they are willing to draw you into new spaces and give you opportunities. I'm saying to you that you cannot be global if you are not relevant locally. People are big on going global, but if the vicinity around you cannot see your value, it will be difficult for anybody beyond that vicinity to see your true value. Okay? So the world does not reward effort, it rewards solutions. What does that mean? The effort that you give, the work that you do, that is a solution to somebody else, is what people are going to value. So there are some jobs, for example, that used to be valuable, but with the introduction of artificial intelligence, their value has reduced significantly. Doing more of that job does not increase your value. In fact, it puts you at risk of being devalued. All right? Your degree is important, but it's not your value. I studied agricultural economics. My value is in my oratory ability. I'm doing trainings. I'm doing coaching, executive coaching, leadership coaching. I discovered my value in my 400 level in school. That was when I discovered my ability to speak. I got my first payment, 100 naira. I can't forget. 5 brand new notes in 2001 from 5 of my friends that I added value to. They looked at me and said, Jimmy, that thing you just did for us, we are going to pay you. They paid me 100 naira. By the way, those guys, a few years, 3 years after, they called me to their retreat. They paid me 100,000 naira. This was 2004. God is my witness. Why? I had increased my value and they could add value. They also could add value to me at that point in time. Okay? Global opportunities flow to problem solvers, not job seekers. I wrote a book many years ago. And the emphasis of the book is the fact that when job seekers change their mind from being job seekers to problem solvers, they tend to get the jobs other people are seeking. When you show up at an interview, don't sound like a job seeker, sound like a problem solver. Thank God my wife there. He'll teach you about that, okay? So we have different areas. In technology, we have developers, product designers. For content, we have YouTubers, storytellers. In business, we have exporting, remote services, and on and on and on, all right? Now, the second thing I want to talk about real quick is that there's a lot of time you have great value, but it is not visible to anybody. And that is another problem that I see. In fact, I can tell you that if you're not careful, in certain African cultures, the belief systems limit your ability to be visible. So they say things like in Yoruba, they say that when your yam sprouts, you use your hands to cover it. And I always say it depends on the size of your yam. If you get what I'm trying to do. But if you cover the yam, the thing is that nobody gets to see it. Now I know why they cover the yam, because their local neighbor who is in their local government, who has the local mindset, saw their yam and said, I'm going to kill your yam. I'm sure you're familiar with what I'm talking about. Okay? But the problem that is there is that you are not raising yams for your neighbor, you are raising yams for the world. You are not developing value for people that are around you. You know, they say they're going to be haters. There's nothing you're going to do about that. But listen to me. What you are carrying is for the world. So when people are telling you that you're not going to amount to anything, who are they in the scheme of things? Look at somebody and tell them, nobody can put me down. Nobody can talk me down. Are you hearing me? Now, please, you must have value that is refined already. Okay? If not, they will talk you down. There's nothing I'm going to do about it. Okay? So, visibility speaks about who knows what you can do. A lot of people, I've met amazing Nigerians, highly skillful, but very invisible. In fact, if you go to my website today, you'll see I'm speaking a lot about executive presence and influence, because I believe that the next frontier is about being in the right spaces, being seen by the right person. Please allow me to quote from the Bible. It says, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. So you are a great city, but you must be set on a hill. Okay? And today we have platforms for visibility. There's LinkedIn. Sometimes I see some people LinkedIn and they write it there, student. If you see students, I will never accept, I don't accept students on LinkedIn. So I say, that's pride. It's okay. All right. We global people, we understand what I'm trying to talk about, okay? Because the fact I don't even know you and all that, present yourself better. Value as students is dangerous. You can be in my DM asking me and say, Ross, how far? Give me something to eat. Am I right? And you might not be that kind of person. So what you want to do now, you don't go and lie and call yourself, call the things that be not as though they were. Call yourself your true value. Sit down and think about what value you actually are able to give, and you are able to position yourself appropriately where that is. So there's LinkedIn, there's YouTube, there's social media essentially. But can I say this to you? It is what you do that is relevant locally that you can project globally. Start from where you are. Listen to me. People used to come to me that time and say, Jimmy, please, can we come and speak on your stage and all that? And I'm like, well, it's very easy. Go and buy wood, build your stage and start. And they thought I was joking. I wasn't joking, because that's what I had to do. My first conferences, I did them for free. Many of them, 7-Star Worker Conference. Mayowa came for that. Free conference, exponential, career shift. So many conferences I did across over 30 states of Nigeria, 30 states within Nigeria, within Africa, United Kingdom, US, and all that. That is why I have people that are following me, because I was intentional about positioning my value. So let me share the Harvard story real quick. I think I have about 3 more minutes. How did I get to speak in Harvard at the African Business Conference? I had a search engine optimization on my website. I don't have it right now because I'm trying to rework some things, but I have it. So if you type in those days, if you type career coach Nigeria or Africa, you will see my name. So apparently they were trying to decide speakers in Harvard, and this white lady goes on Google and types and says career coach, and she sees me at the top. Then she turns to the room and says, does anybody know, and I can't imagine how she called my name, maybe Jimi Tewe or Jimi Tewe. I don't care how people call my name. If you pay me, I'm okay. So people say, I'm an African man. You must call my name. They will not pay you money. Anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, so she says, she mentioned it. And incidentally, in the same room, a guy who was a youth corper when I was the head of HR of head of recruitment for Bank PHB was in the room. I said, oh, I know him. He used to be my boss. They're like, wow, okay, please, can you ask him? And that is the reason why they reached out to me. I spoke in Harvard, thousands of people there. And then, so sometimes I go to Harvard, go around, you spoke in Harvard? Wow, how do you do it? It happened because I did a website. It happened because I had search engine optimization. It happened because there was also somebody in the room that was willing to recommend me. Why? Because he knew the value that I had when I was working with him. The last point, because of time, is your positioning or your perception. Listen to me. Two people can have the same skill but different outcomes. Positioning is how you package your value. Look at your neighbor and, package yourself. Some of you are sitting down like you're tired. Can you please package yourself? You might never know. Somebody is probably checking you out and thinking, could this be my future husband or could this be my future wife? If you are married, it's not you are talking about. No. Anyway, that's the starting point. Listen to me. The way you present yourself is very critical. And I realize something that some people have as much value, but if they present themselves, you will believe them. And those that have value don't present themselves appropriately. Listen to me. Global opportunities don't go to the most talented. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm good. God will lift me. God said I should come and tell you. Position yourself well. I'll say this. Global opportunities don't go to the most talented. They go to the most understood and the most better positioned. I'm going to end by saying this, okay? Infrastructure may be limited in Nigeria. Opportunities may seem scarce, but I can tell you something. With the advent of the internet, with the advent of the skill of relationships, you can break the barriers around you, thrive locally, and eventually extend yourself globally. Don't have small talk relationships. People that talk about things or just people and all those kind of things. Talk to people that have ideas. Today, before you leave, make sure you meet 5 people who are operating locally, but you know they're going to go global. All right? Make sure you connect to them. And that way, I'm sure that somehow, somewhere, maybe I might even meet you in Dallas, DMW, Dallas Fort Worth Airport. And you can walk up to me and say, sir, how you doing? And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, do I know you? And you're like, you have not met me before, but I met you at the Triple M Conference 2006. And this is who I am. My God, I'm going to be excited about it. Who is that I'm talking about? Who is that person I'm talking about? All right? I hope this has helped you. I hope this has blessed you. I wish you the very best. Start local, position yourself, and eventually you'll find yourself operating globally. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye-bye.